What's going on, everyone? I'm Jeff Harris alongside Jonah Restuccio.
Happy St. Patrick's Day
That's right.
to you all, and of course, welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the only show giving you in-depth analysis to all local sports here on the shore.
That's right, of course. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And of course, coming up on tonight's episode, it's a busy one. We take you inside the Bennett girls lacrosse team, who are absolutely overloaded with talented seniors that are continuing their careers at the next level.
And speaking of lacrosse, Salisbury Lax would need overtime to determine a winner for their War on the Shore matchup with Washington College. Those thrilling highlights coming up.
And the Salisbury softball team had a jam-packed schedule this week. We recap all of those games in just a bit. Welcome into the show, and as Trayvon Miles would say, that you know and love the Delmarva Sports Insider. He is. He's enjoying some NCAA basketball. But we're going to start our coverage, Jonah, locally, because the story is pretty special. This story, the winningest coach in Maryland public high school basketball history, has accomplished a lot in 52 years of coaching, really, to say the least. 800-plus wins, a state championship, a perfect season, and a gym named after him. Now, Y-High's Butch Waller can add a street to his resume. Check that out. In a surprise reveal to Coach Waller, Long Avenue, which runs next to Wycomico High School, was renamed to Butch Waller Way yesterday afternoon. But that's not all. With some family, friends, players, and you see him there, Mayor Jake Day in attendance. Not only does the city have a new name, but from here on out, March 16th will be known as Butch Waller Day in Salisbury. It comes without saying that Coach Waller deserves this honor. This year, he led his Indians to a 24-1 record, undefeated heading into the playoffs. He's made 21 state Final Four appearances, the most of any Bayside Conference school, and has made 5 state championship game appearances as well. But for those that know Butch, how else do you think he would react to this surprise?
I can only imagine what the general public's going to think about that. So, what is that clown got his name on that sign for? Must have been some Halloween prank or something like that. But I don't know. I guess anything I do wrong on this street is going to be exonerated from here on out. I've been very fortunate. I really have. And it's been, I had opportunities to teach at Bennett and coach at Bennett and Parkside when they were building that. And I just turned those jobs down because this is where I went to school, and I feel a little bit of ownership to this school.
Do you think he was going to answer that question, any of the media questions, any other way?
I don't think so. I mean, we all know Coach Waller. He certainly loves,
you
know, to be out there in the spotlight and certainly answer some questions, and he doesn't really hold much back. But, of course, a congratulations goes out to him. I know you were there.
Exactly.
Must have been quite the scene.
It was quite the scene. Him walking out, he didn't know that it was being renamed.
So it was a true surprise.
Exactly, true surprise. He walked out and he said that he thought there was an accident or someone was getting pulled over. Then he saw the band and he said, I don't really know what's going on, until he saw the street sign with the tarp over it.
Right.
And that's really when it set him off, like, wow, I'm getting a street named after me.
And it's nice to see because most of his players, including Jaden Baker, I saw on social media, posted videos. So, of course, not only does the community support Coach Waller, his players as well. So that's nice to see.
So as Butch wrapped up his 2018 season in style, the top Bayside basketball seniors from both the North and the South, they came together in the 33rd annual Cliff Mister Senior All-Star Game earlier this week. The girls kicked off the night in what would be their final game as members of the Bayside Conference. We're going to pick things up in the second half. Bennett's Eliza Handy with the outlet to Mardella's Kayla Cook. She's going to finish with the layup. South, they'd be up by as many as 13, but North not going away. This girl is pretty good. Kent County's Tiara Johnson with a long-range missile ties things up at 63. So to overtime we go. In extra time, Johnson just taking over, and the fast break finds Bayside North Player of the Year, Kelly Kavanaugh, for the lay-in. That would tie things up, but Y-High's Armani Williams in her home gym knocks one down from the corner to give South back the lead. Now after North would knot things up once again with less than 10 seconds to go, Piaja Johnson dropped step in the finish, the Pocomoke star, with what would be the game winner after North misses the potential game-tying free throws. South, they continue their all-star game winning streak in thrilling fashion, 72-71.
Well, going into this game, we had a team talk. We were like, okay, it's our last game, so we have to come out here and have fun, but make sure we also secure the win for Bayside South, because it's been done year after year after year. So, and then when we got into overtime, I was like, okay, now it's time to settle down and play our game the way we know how to play. It's not just, I guess, fun anymore. We're playing to win, and we're playing to keep the Bayside South undefeated since it's been. So, yeah, it was kind of a tough game, but we pulled it out to the finish.
To the boys, Y-High's Laquan Pettit opening up the scoring with a step-back three. The first team All-Baysider finished with a team-high 23 on the night. From Team North, Niall Thompson with a fancy finish in the lane through some traffic. The Cambridge Viking with 13 on the night, and then with some time running down in the half. Jonah, you heard of this kid, right?
A little
bit. His name's Joey Adams, up to Justin Warner, puts home the two-handed jam. North, they would have the 64-60 lead at the halftime break, and in the second, Pocomoke's scoring machine Tyree Thornton through the open lane with a one-handed slam. Yeah, flex on him, boy. There we go. After a North defensive stop, the Bayside North Player of the Year, Adams, drained the three. Game high. What is this, a type of 34 points for him in an All-Star game? Now, they would need overtime to determine a winner as well, 136 to 132.
Wow.
The North, they hang on to take it over the South.
I don't think there was any defense played in that, but up in Delaware, the boys basketball all-state teams were announced earlier this week. Smyrna's Caleb Matthews, of course, led the way, taking home first-team honors and State Player of the Year, determined by the Delaware Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association. Now, he was also named the Gatorade Delaware State Player of the Year. Also from state runner-up Eagles Greg Bloodsworth and Jameer Garnett, both received a second-team nod. Cape Henlopen's Ian Robertson, who helped the Vikings to the #1 seed in the DIAA state playoffs, makes an appearance on the first team. And right next to him, Cape's Randy Rickards was given second-team honors, while Hassan Corbin of Woodbridge rounded out the second team. And on the third team, Sussex Tech's Jaquan Burton and Caesar Rodney Schaff-Clarks were the other members of the Henlopen Conference getting a selection.
And, I really love to see, because, of course, we've been through this entire winter sports season. We followed these teams, from beginning to end. And now we see, the culmination of everything. A lot of these kids, hard work. And it's nice to see a lot of them, being recognized on some of these teams.
And for Smyrna, runners-up this year in the state and state champions last year. Talk about successful careers for Caleb Matthews and Jameer Garnett.
And speaking of successful careers, so, the winter season is officially in the books now. It is. So that must mean the spring season is right around the corner, and no better way to kick off the young season than with a college signing. Impressive career, really, for this kid. Tucker Brown, a senior at Worcester Preparatory School in Berlin, signed his letter of intent Monday afternoon to play Division I lacrosse at Furman University. Surrounded by some family, friends, and coaches, Brown put pen to paper, inking his way onto the collegiate lacrosse scene next year. Brown has already put together quite an impressive high school career, recording his 100th goal back in May of last year during the Mallards' win over the Salisbury School. Brown was later named one of the 44 finalists in the state of Maryland for the Kelly Award, which recognizes the best high school lacrosse player. Now, following the signing on Monday afternoon, Brown expressed his gratitude for this tremendous opportunity.
It was an amazing experience to know that all my hard work's paid off, and now it's officially official, and it's not just verbal anymore. So it's nice to know it's all paid off. Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of work to get here, and the process of choosing a college is definitely really grueling.
And certainly not going to be the last college signing. I'm going to go out on a limb and say throughout the rest of this year, but certainly a congratulations goes out to Tucker Brown, and we're going to see him and cover him in the coming season. So, 100 goals already in his junior year.
Yeah.
Now, let's see what he can do in his senior year.
The season's just a few weeks away.
Just a few weeks away. But we've hit our first commercial break. We had a lot of action in that first block. But when we come back, we're taking things to Salisbury as the men's lacrosse team look to pick up a much-needed win hosting Washington College in their annual rivalry matchup. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I am Kevon Woods from Stephen Decatur High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.